Hi, my name is Garrett Christopher, and this is my YouTube channel. This is Garrett's Sports Take. I have two more of these. There's Garrett's Movie Take, and there's Garrett's Take. The Movie Take is me talking about my favorite movies and trying to convince you that they're going to be your favorite movies as well. Garrett's Take just talks about stuff in general. I'm still up in the arms about what this week's topic is going to be, but I'll figure something out. It'll be something cheesy. Please visit Garet.com. You'll find out more about me. I'm a self-published author. I've got a weekly podcast on Soundcloud and Spotify. And I've got a couple of audiobooks available on Audible. So please check it out. Let me know. And if anything you do, please leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. All right. Anyway, in part one of this rant, I talked about the Dodgers last night losing to the Astros and how the Astros should be stripped of their trophy. Don't give it to the Dodgers because you didn't win it, but strip it. Either that or have a round robin. The last four teams that were in the playoffs that particular year, let's go at it again. Let's do it. After the World Series this year, let's pick it out. Maybe pick it up in February, right, when the weather's a little bit better, or pick a dome, and let's have it out. Let's go for it. Anyway, all right. So we're talking about the Lakers and about the signings that they have taken on this week. This week was the draft, the NBA draft, as well as free agency opened up on Monday. So a lot of commitments. The Lakers are pretty much filled their roster at this point. And not everyone agrees. You know, you look at all the different posts and whatnot. Some like it, and a lot of jokes, very, very funny jokes, by the way, about the age of the Lakers. You already have LeBron up there, and now Dwight's up there, and now you've got Wayne Ellington, and you've got Russell's only 32, 33, but he still plays very young. But anyway, a lot of guys that are up there in age, right? So you bring on Jared Dudley, who's another guy that's going to be up there. I like Jared for the locker room. I really do. I think he'll tell LeBron where to go and how to get there and have no problem with it. No problem with it. I think you need that. I think LeBron needs that. But here's the main reason why I like the makeup of this team. Now, some of the guys have never played together, right? Maybe practices and all that kind of thing, but as far as on a team, right? But the reason why I like it is this. And the reason why now looking at it, and this is all, I used to have a teacher back in grade school that would say, hindsight being better than foresight, right? He would just say, here's talk like this in hindsight. In fact, I think one of my characters is based on him, isn't he? Anyway, hindsight being better than foresight. Last year, I really thought if AD doesn't go down with the injury, I think we beat Phoenix because AD was the one person that they could not contend, with which they could not contend. The outside, the perimeter game, they had no problem guarding that, but AD was going to be the X factor, and he was when they were up 2-1, and he would have been. Now, would they beat Milwaukee? I don't know. I still feel that there were three teams in the East that could have beat the Lakers last year. Milwaukee being one, Philly being the other one, and of course Brooklyn. Could have beat anybody if they were healthy. Anyway, so what I was thinking is any pro athlete is an alpha, okay? Any pro athlete, but you have alpha 1, alpha 2, and some of the alphas are okay, kind of allowing the other alphas to take over. Some of LeBron's more successful teams have been teams that the other alphas, kind of allowed him, to some degree, to kind of take over and be LeBron. And we know he's a very polarizing figure, and I'm sure he's that way from the moment he steps on the court or in the locker room or anywhere else, right? Very, very polarizing and very, very dominant. It has no problem saying and doing and being and all those kinds of things. So to play with him, you've got to understand that, right? And not everyone wants to play with him. A lot of guys do because they understand the fact that he will pass you the ball, but hey, he's LeBron. Okay. The makeup of this team, as I look at it, is you have a lot of guys, I think, who will be willing to, let's just win. Now, I don't know about their conditioning or about their work ethic, but they've been in the league for a long time, a lot of them. And I think that we have the opportunity for guys to just, hey, let me just kind of mesh in there. And you had guys like that last year on the Lakers team, but I think a couple of the guys you brought in wanted to be the person also, because either their contract was expiring, because they had that chip on their shoulder, which is fine. You want that too. But yeah, there was a cohesiveness that didn't come together, right? And I'm not going to name any names, but there's two people in particular who I'm thinking of. One just signed with Philadelphia on a 1-year contract, a veteran's minimum. I won't mention who that is. And another one is not signed yet. And supposedly the Lakers offered this individual a very large contract during the year. He didn't accept it. And from what I can see so far, things are kind of dry. Now, there could be things working behind the scenes where they're doing a sign and trade with this particular individual and they'll get someone else in. I kind of hope that's the case because I kind of agree with someone else's point of view that this person's not a Laker, and I agree with that. Now, what is a Laker? Well, right now, a Laker is someone who understands that the team and the game is bigger than the individual. Even though you have individuals that, over the course of time, have felt that they were bigger than at different times, they kind of came to grips with that at some point in time. By the way, two things I didn't mention in part one that I want to mention here. Let's see what we have. This came last week. I love it. And even though this is not my movie take, it's still a sports take, so it's kind of like at both ends. When I do my movie take, I slide to that part of the room, and I slide my Fletch jersey over there. But you know who this is, right? Please tell me you do, and why I have this up here. Love it. If you don't know, just YouTube Fletch Lakers scene. Love it. And as I said in my movie take before about some comedies now, the scene that has Chevy Chase dressed in the Laker uniform, you would not see in today's comedies. It wouldn't fly. There'd be a huge problem with that. The other one is, so I was cleaning the garage out yesterday, and I found this. I think it was my wife's jacket or one of my kids' jackets. And that was kind of cool. Some of the older patches up here and whatnot, so I thought I'd hang it up. What the heck? So there you have it. Dolphins, I'll leave alone for today. So my three teams are, as you already know, the LA Lakers, LA Dodgers, and the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins are in training camp, of course, right now. The Xavier Howard thing, so kind of loomed over everyone's head. We'll see what happens. I hope they keep him. I hope they make it right. And it seems like they just need to do a couple of little things and tweaking as far as this contract to make it right. But what do they want to do? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Not my take. I think we're up time-wise. Thanks so much for checking in. Appreciate you. Please, comments. What do you think of the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, the Lakers signings? Let's talk about it. Thanks so much. GaretChristopher.com. There we have it. GoPro, stop recording. It worked last time. It was great. GoPro, stop recording.